a paragon of justice, a symbol of light. When she uses her healing powers, wings sprout from her back, and the choirs of heaven start singing. When she smiles, it's like the world has suddenly become infinitely brighter and...
Oh, sweet Jesus, do you actually want me to say all this about you?
You want an accurate representation of how I see myself in this game? That's it.
This is the Gaming Wildlife Foundation.
The Mary Sue is a rather common sight in the role-playing realm, much to the disdain of her fellow role-players. As a character, the Mary Sue often has many over-the-top traits that severely bend, if not break, the rules of pre-established lore. Say, for example, a half-angel, half-demon hybrid, who is capable of summoning both the Hounds of Hell and the Saints of Heaven to smite her foes with a resounding one-hit kill.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, come on! It's like playing Orzhov or Is It in Magic the Gathering. It just doesn't make sense.
Many roleplayers, especially the lore whores, are often perplexed as to why their fellow gamers come up with these Mary Sue characters. For more on this subject, we go back to our expert,
Professor E.R.P. Forgold.
The Mary Sue Gary Stu gamer is a bit more complex than your average role player, or even the lore whore. The character itself can range from a severe lore breaker or, more commonly, a self-insert of the player into the game. A Mary Sue's motivation can range from a desire to be the center of attention to wanting to be unique as a character, what we call special snowflake syndrome.
Like Gamer Girl Syndrome!
No.
Sorry.
Some Mary Sues are made for the sole purpose of trolling or harassing other role players. These characters go out of their way, both in character and out of character, to aggravate the other player for fun.
Observe now how the trolling subspecies of the Mary Sue provokes a lore whore into an angered state.
Raising her arms high to the heavens, Belisonde calls down a beam of holy light that completely destroys Kyanthos. All that is left is a charred spot on the ground where he was. Bella smirks triumphantly. You never mess with a high priestess.
Hey, just so you know, that's considered god modding, and you never asked if I wanted my character to be killed.
Well, she's a high priestess and she can kill with one hit, and you made her mad.
But I didn't tell you it was okay to kill my character, and if I may ask, how did she become a high priestess?
She was born one, the gods chose her at birth and gave her the holy mark on her wrist.
No! High priestesses in lore had to live in a covenant and spent many years devoting themselves to the gods. And the only priestess to have a holy mark is the Grand Priestess, who is the leader of their race.
Well, she's different, and she's the Grand Priestess's daughter, so it makes sense.
I honestly have no idea what's going on.
But the Grand Priestess took a vow decades ago to never marry and to remain celibate.
OMG, it's RP, okay? I can do what I want. It's just a game, seriously. You don't have to be such a jerk.
I'm not being a jerk. I'm trying to help you. I didn't know if you were aware that your character was breaking lore.
What? A Mary Sue at her finest.
Are they all that bad?
No, and it's extremely important to note that while many Mary Sues and Gary Stews are trolls and will break lore just to annoy other role players, that other Mary Sues are often new to the game and aren't even aware of pre-existing lore. These players, when confronted politely by others, tend to respond with curiosity and sometimes apologies. In fact, it isn't too uncommon in the gaming kingdom for a Mary Sue role player to develop into an average lore-abiding role player. Some even become lore whores, educating the next generation.
So, wait, you're saying that if I wanted my character to be a mage, that he'd have to be at least 25 years old?
Yes, that's right, because the arcane is such a difficult magic to master, the earliest he could be adept in it is 25, and even then he'd be considered something of a prodigy.
So really it's safer if he's about 30 or 35, and maybe he has some issues with the arcane that he can't quite control yet.
That sounds like a great start. Let me know if you have any more questions, okay?
And a successful transformation takes place. Remember, if you come across a Mary Sue or a Gary Sue in your travels, engage them politely. Otherwise, it's a lot like poking a giant bear with a stick. What? It's a metaphor. It's not... Oh, forget it. For the Gaming Wildlife Foundation, my name is Master Charles Davenant Bates. Good night.
Dork.
I'm not a...